Hi, I'm Bob Kesling of the Vol Network. Glad to be joined by Tennessee's new defensive coordinator, Bob Shoop. Coach, congratulations and welcome to Big Orange Country.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
It's been kind of a whirlwind for you. I know anytime there's a coaching change, it's kind of difficult to make the decision, but I'm sure you're happy you've made it and you're here at Tennessee.
I couldn't be more excited to be part of Vol Nation. Having lived in the mid-state for 3 years, you recognize that Tennessee football is a way of life, and I'm appreciative to Mr. Hart and Coach Jones for making this happen.
When you were at Vanderbilt, before you went to Penn State, you had a chance to basically, I guess, recruit a lot of the guys already on this Tennessee team.
I'm familiar with several of the players, and that comfort level was helpful in me making this decision to come here, certainly. And Jalen Reeves-Maben's a guy that I recruited really hard, and he and I have a special relationship, and I look forward to working with him in 2016.
And Derek Barnett's another guy I'm sure you recruited.
Derek Barnett, Rashawn Golden, Todd Kelly, Kyle Phillips. Those are guys that I look forward to reconnecting with this evening.
You were at Penn State for a couple of years, so talk about the transition from Big Ten football back to SEC. Is there that much of a difference?
Football's football. I mean, the approach isn't any different. Certainly, I think when I made the transition from William & Mary to go to Vanderbilt, I was afraid there was going to be some huge transition from CAA, 1AA football to the SEC. But my routine on a daily basis didn't change much. Certainly the players are bigger, faster, and stronger, but that was kind of unique. Then going to Penn State, certainly there's a Big Ten style of football versus an SEC style of football. It's a little bit more, bigger, more rugged, style of football in the Big Ten. Here it's more of a speed conference, a skill conference. But, to me, I'm really excited to be back here because the SEC is certainly the best that college football has to offer.
It all comes down to stopping the run, though, doesn't it?
Stop the run, don't give up any big plays, and create some takeaways, no doubt.
You graduated from Yale, and you played football there. You were a wide receiver.
Absolutely.
Then. How'd you get on the defensive side of the ball coaching?
Well, first and foremost, what's a guy with an economics degree from Yale do? Of course, he becomes a football coach. When I was a GA at University of Virginia for George Welsh, and had an opportunity to interview at Northeastern University for a coaching position, and a guy named Barry Gallup knew he wanted to hire me, provided me my first full-time job. He said, "I don't know what position you're going to coach." He said, "But I really want you on my staff." And I took the job. It was the greatest thing I ever had, making $20,000 a year. And when he completed his staff, ultimately the only job remaining was a defensive coaching job. And I said, "I'll take it." And I had good mentors in college and good people. So I felt like I kind of was one of those guys who was a film rat and understood the game. So I look forward to it, and I've evolved from there.
Probably helps you some, though, as a wide receiver. You got to learn routes, you got to learn space and secondary, so probably helped you a lot trying to devise how to stop a passing game.
No question. The best advice someone gave me when I was a young coach is learn the completeness of the game, and it makes you certainly, as a young coach, a more marketable coach, whether it's on the offensive, defensive side, things along those lines. So absolutely. As a defensive coach, I learn, as the game evolves on the offensive side with these spread, no huddle teams, with these run-pass option type teams, a lot of times in the off-season when I'm doing my research and development, I'll talk to offensive coaches.
It's hard to stop a good offense these days. It's a challenge for a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I've always contended, in the last few years I've said to people, I think being a defensive coordinator in college football is one of the hardest jobs in all of sports. And I think it's hard only when you define it by old school terms. I think we just need to redefine, what championship defense is nowadays.
What do you think that is?
Getting a key stop on third down, being good in the red zone, making teams kick field goals, creating turnovers, playing good in clock situations. The days of it being 10-7, 7-3, are far gone. So it's points per possession, it's yards per possession. I'm big into the analytics piece and trying to maximize, kind of a money ball approach, kind of an outside the box thinker approach as to how things go.
That's your Yale education coming to play, right?
Perhaps.
4-3, 3-4, everyone wants to know what kind of defense you're going to play. You said in your press conference you're going to adapt your players to make sure they're in their best position.
I say that all the time. I think that's my job is, rather than recruit players to fit a particular scheme, it's my job to tailor the scheme to what the players are capable of doing, putting them in the position that they can be playmakers. So whether it's a 4-3, a 4-2-5, a 3-4, whatever that might be, but the things that are non-negotiable to us is, it's an in-your-face style, challenging every route, and we'll run to the ball, and we'll, and we always talk about never-ending pressure. Pressure makes the pipes burst.
That's good. Speed. This league's a speed league, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to me, you watch, the SEC this offseason went 9-2 in the postseason. Certainly, every team on the SEC has skilled players, at the running back position, the quarterback position, and the wide receiver positions. It's still a line of scrimmage league as well, though. I mean, to me, the only three things, you could break it down any way you want, but whether it's the local high school, whether it's UT football, whether it's the Titans, you've got to be able to stop the run, you got to be able to eliminate or minimize big plays, and you have to create takeaways.
You've seen Tennessee from afar. You coached on the other sideline against them when you were at Vanderbilt. Give us your thoughts of Tennessee now as you come into the program.
Well, there's only a handful of stadiums I've ever walked to in my life where I kind of got the chills and said, I can't believe that I'm here, and Neyland Stadium's one of them. And that's part of the appeal on the job and the comfort of this job. There's not a lot of places that I would have left Penn State for, but having, like I said, been in the mid-state in the last 3 years, my children having gone to high school there, knowing some of these guys, and UT football is a way of life in the state of Tennessee, and I'm really, really proud and really excited to be part of it.
Was it a hard sell for your family to come back to Tennessee?
I mean, anytime there's a transition, there's always a little bit of anxiety. Children are different ages. My son's actually on the team at Penn State, so we're weighing options there. My youngest son is a junior in high school, so family comes first. And I tell everybody all the time, coaching is what I do, not who I am. I hope when Vol Nation gets to know me and my family, they'll realize that I'm a good husband and a good father, and that's what I'd like to be known for.
And we've heard a very good football coach. Coach, good to have you with us. Congratulations on the job. We look forward to working with you. Best of luck to you in the Vol defense.
Thank you very much.
Bob Shoop, Tennessee's new defensive coordinator, with us here, and I'm Bob Kesling.